Hi everyone. My lovely wife and I are on the Spider today up in Suchus, Georgia on a Saturday. It's a little bit cool, but the leaves have changed and we thought we'd get up here and take a look at them. It's supposed to rain for all next week and we figured the leaves will be gone by then, so first chance we've had to come up here. This is the first time in 3 weeks that we've been able to ride due to weather and family commitments and things like that. So we're really looking forward to this. And we're going to try here. We're going to start off here at the Wolf's Pen Gap. And we're going to work our way over to Helen. And see some beautiful leaves up this way. This is one of the really good twisty roads right here in the Suchus area. This is probably the best one for if you like twisties. And pardon me for having the windshield all the way up. Hopefully the camera is letting you see around that for the most part. But we're trying to keep the wind off of us. It's just now made it to 60 degrees. It was in the 40s when we got here, and it's finally warming up a little bit. It's supposed to stay around 60 all day today, so we're all geared up. We're going to stay warm, I think. I'm trying out my heated grips. I can already feel them working really well. I got on some light gloves that are actually ventilated gloves, but let my wife wear my big gauntlets, and that should keep her warm. And she's got grips back there too, so we'll see how that works. But I don't know whether we're past the peak or at the peak or really where we're at. But we're oh, look at all the sports cars. Everybody wants to come up here and ride this road, and we really like it. I think I prefer the road. Once we get past this, we'll get on the road to Helen. I think I actually prefer it for the Cruiser and for the Spider, but it's a lot of fun. If I had a sportier bike, I think I'd probably think this was the better of the roads. Boy, these grips are just amazing. I can really feel the warmth through them. So I'd like to thank Sean Smoke again for being such a good representative for BRP and riding the ones they let him ride and talking so good about them. And he's the one that convinced me to get this, and we couldn't be happier with it. Back in my soul somewhere, I wish, I said, well, gee, I wish I could have got a Gold Wing or something like that with a really comfortable seat that the wife would like, but she's much more comfortable on this, and I'm a lot more comfortable riding her on this than I was on my V-Star, so I think everything's going to work out great. There's an old home for you right there. I don't think anybody's still living in that one. But it's a really beautiful area of Georgia. You've seen some of my other videos. The last one I did up here, I think it was probably in the 80s. So this should be a little bit of a change for you. And it was all green, of course, then too. But really nice out through this way. Probably won't talk through the whole thing, talk through a good bit of it, but I've been having to go back and forth between Charlotte and Smyrna, Georgia a lot, trying to help my son get situated. He had the person who he was renting from sold the land right out from under him, and of course he knew that could happen any time when he started living there, and so we've kind of been scrambling ever since to get all this stuff situated and get him a place and all that. So we're still working on all that, and I've still got several weeks of that ahead. But that's one of the reasons why we haven't been here. I've actually been up in North Carolina for 3 or 4 days each week the last 3 weeks. But it's also rained like crazy. My wife went up with me, and they had a hurricane that went up the eastern seaboard 3 weeks ago, and it rained a solid week in North Carolina. We had brought the Spider with us, and we didn't even take it out of the garage the whole week we were there. So that's how she goes. See if he'll let me go by him. I'll go on by. Thank you, sir. Nice of him to do that. Oh, look at that. Look how pretty those leaves look up on that little hillside right there. Isn't that something? Yeah, this is the time of year to come out here. I wish we had some sun. They're saying partly sunny today, and if the sun comes out, I know the colors will really start showing up better, but pretty much the camera usually does a pretty good job of that. Anyway, so we're getting into the twisties up here pretty quick. I'm glad that guy let us by, because I know he's going to go slow through them. As you can notice, this is the side mount for my drift camera. I usually do a chin mount, but I've got the Cena's on with me today. My wife's wearing her full face, and so she's got her Cena on, and we can chat a little bit as we ride along. Usually, I mean, the Spider is quiet enough that we can usually I can lean back and she can talk to me and I can talk to her, but it'd be a whole lot easier with the Cenas. I have resisted getting the Cena box so that I can plug it directly into my camera and do everything. I think there's a different quality in the sound that I just don't really like. I really like the hardwired microphone that I have here. I've just got a hardwired mic run down the same boom as the Cena mic, and it works really good. I'll discuss a little something, you know, Sean, if you happen to see this and you want to comment on it, please do. I don't think I'm doing anything drastically wrong, but there are things that I don't understand in life, and you know, there are people that say, oh, there we go, nice little camper there, honey. But they say you should never read the instructions, because you find out stuff that'll make you go, you know, things that make you go, And one of the things that's making me go, is I was reading about tire pressures on the Spider. And they list a plus and a minus, you know, figure for where they want you to ride them. Well, on the Spider, the front tires, according to my manual, and according to a sticker on the Spider here, says 15 pounds each, plus or minus 2 pounds. So that's what, 13 low and 17 high. And you know, I have, the whole time I've had it, I have made sure that I was on 15, and I checked it before I rode it, and you know, and it's ridden fine. I mean, I like it. I did stiffen up the suspension a little bit, but you know, I've always liked it, and said, well, that's great, that's cool. Well, one day during all that rain, I got the owner's manual out, which admittedly was a dangerous thing to do, and I started reading about it. And I happened to get to the tire section, and it said again, you know, 15, you know, pounds. And so I got curious, and I came out and looked at the Spider, and it looked like the tires just had a little bulge to them. You know, like you know, and that's reasonable. I mean, most tires nowadays, especially the radials, you might have a little bit of bulge at the bottom of the tire, even when you're at the correct pressures. And so I got my tire gauge out, and yeah, I was on 15 pounds again, you know, and looked at that. Well, I got to looking at the sidewall on the tire. Now this is what's making me go, according to the tire that came from BRP on the Spider here, the sidewall says minimum pressure 15 pounds, maximum pressure 30 pounds. Now that's quite a swing. And that's from the tire manufacturer. And I'm thinking, well, you know, according to the tire manufacturer, if I have it set just like BRP wants, that's the absolute minimum pressure. If I take their, you know, if I take their recommendations and they say I can go 2 or 3 pounds or 1 or 2 pounds lower than that, I'm actually below the manufacturer's recommended pressures for the tire. And so to make a long story short, I pumped them up a little bit. I'm running these things, but I think I've got them right set at about 23 pounds right now. And it's like adding power steering, even more power steering to this thing. This thing it just made a whole new roadster out of it. I mean, it steers so much easier now. It tracks better, it doesn't wander. I mean, it's just something I don't understand. Now, you know, I hope I don't get a reply on this video saying, oh, you're going to kill yourself, the rims can't handle it, or you know, it must be a misprint on the tire or something like that. You've got to go with 15, because I really like it, and be honest, this is our first really long ride at the higher pressures, and I don't think I'm hurting anything. I know I like to run my car, I like to run my other bike, I like to run them all right pretty close to the maximum pressures, because you know, they perform so much better. The tires work so much better, and they don't seem to wear out as quick. you know, if you're close to your maximum pressure, if, you know, tires tend to drop sometimes, and if it drops a little bit, well, you haven't hurt anything. But if I set this on 15 and, you know, on a warm day or something, and come out on a cool day and get on it, I could even be below 13 pounds in these tires, and that would just be, you know, way too little. And I'm, you know, just afraid to hit something and knock it off the bead or something like that. You know, you just never know. But anyway, that's what I came up with. So I immediately put the owner's manual back in the bike here and have not looked at it since. And I'm going to try to avoid it because it's just worrying me now. I mean, what else is kind of weird in there? I don't know. But I'm sure BRP knows what they're doing, and I'm probably being an idiot. But I got to tell you, it rides so much better with more pressure, and the tires look better. They have a better contact patch. I mean, I actually noticed on the outside of the tires, you know, when you get a tire that's got a pretty aggressive, look at this. I mean, see, it just goes around this corner just terrific, like this. I had on your car, your truck, you know, sometimes if you're a little bit underinflated, the edges of the tires start doing that little scallopy thing with the tread, you know, one tread up, one tread down kind of thing. Well, these were just barely starting that. And I think it's because, you know, because they're underinflated, the sidewalls are just too far down. So I don't know. Oh well, we'll see what it goes. How you like what do you think of this road with all these leaves changed now? Isn't it beautiful out through here? This is really, really nice. We're going to catch up to some people, but that's okay. We're not in any hurry today. Like I said, we're going to ride over to Helen and eat some lunch, and that's about the halfway spot if you go on the 6 Gap loop. And then we'll ride back to Suchus and head back on to Georgia, back to Smyrna. We're about an hour and a half. I think it was about an hour and a half drive from our house in Smyrna up to here. And we did trailered up. We had a little bit of moisture in the air, a few sprinkles on us coming up, and not supposed to rain here today. Not until late this afternoon, and we'll be long gone by then. But not really a rain, just a few sprinkles. But it's really beautiful out here. Really nice. What's it look like your way? Is it all your leaves changed yet? Or are they all gone? Are you past your peak? I don't know that this is the peak. I think we're a little bit past it. Maybe last weekend was the best weekend. I don't know, but I still think it's just beautiful through here. And again, I just wish the sun would come out just a little bit so you can get an idea of really how beautifully brilliant this is. But hopefully the camera does a good job. All right, here we are, Wolf Gap Pen. Elevate. This is the highest point, 3260. And there we go. A lot of people like to hike up through here. Oh, look down through that way. Isn't that nice? I think I'll slow down a little bit, let these people get out in front of us a bit. But that's one great thing about a Spider. You know, with a Spider, the slower you go, the more stable and secure you feel on it. Exactly opposite of my big Cruiser, you know, where it does really good slow, but you know, you like any other motorcycle, you want to be moving a little bit so that you feel comfortable and it's easier to stay upright. But this all the way down to till we absolutely stop. I mean, you know, you don't feel any better than that. Pull over here just a second. Take a look at this. There's some trails out through here. We're in the National Forest. There we go. Chattahoochee National Forest Scenic Area, Soseby Cove. And that's the trail. It's really nice. Alrighty, I'll knock off for now. Back in a bit.